Okay, so in this video, it's going to be a bit of a long video. We're going to produce one of the kits that I sell on eBay. So here's the kit. It's an op-amp tester. So we got this section that tests op-amp. Here we have offset voltage measurement, and here we have gain bandwidth product measurement, and here's the power supply and all the relevant circuitry that you need to make this kit work. So how are we going to start? We're going to start by putting some solder paste on one of the boards. So here's the solder paste that I use. I have about 5 or 6 of these, and you're gonna get it out. A little bit messy, and then we're going to mix it a bit like so, and then we're gonna grab a good bit and just scub it over there, leave here. And what I tend to use is stencils that I don't use anymore. Cut them, and they're really good for applying solder paste. So we're gonna start, and we're gonna go like so. Make sure we got everywhere, and then we can just basically get rid of it. Let's just change this now because it got dirty. There we go, get the good bit and clean off solder paste like so, and then you're gonna put these somewhere. There we are. Bit of a wasteful, you can't really not do it perfectly that you don't waste any. There's always a little bit that goes to waste, but that's just the way it is. There we go, put that back and close this stuff up. There we go, let's put it away, and then in one, so we're gonna lift it up. And there we go. You can see, nicely done. Everywhere pasted nice, equal. So I'm going to put that away, and we're going to quickly clean, if I can find my stuff. Yep, quickly clean our stencil with a bit of alcohol, because we don't want this stuff to dry, and then it will just make a mess. There we go. You don't want to put too much pressure because you don't want to warp your stencil. You don't want to damage it. Ideally, you need to put something underneath it so it doesn't warp around. And just go lift it up and give it a good clean on the other side as well. Nice and clean. There we go. We can put that away. I can go to his place. There we go. Okay, that's gone. And now let's get to work. So basically this is, if we can straighten the camera, zoom out a bit, there we are. So this is the circuit, basically the values that we have. So we got the power supply section, as I said. We got our op-amp tester here with the values. We go for the single package, dual package, quad package, single package, single rail supply, single package, dual rail supply, and same for gain bandwidth. We got a single package, both for single package. We got the unity gain, and we got the gain here that you can set with this pin headers over here, and the power supply, and we have our current limiting circuit here just to prevent any shorts or any damages. We don't want the DC-DC converter to blow up. And we got our negative rail suppliers, and we got our linear regulator and the adjust for it over there. All right, so let's put that aside, and let's bring this to the shot. I don't know how clear that is. You can see. Okay, let's just bring the camera down a bit. Something's gonna fly off in a minute. So that's in the camera, you can see. So I'm gonna use my nice tweezers. Let's set this one down. Something's underneath and it's going to annoy me. What is this underneath? There we go. That's better now. Okay, so I got all the components around me. As I've been doing this for a long time, I know where all the values and stuff go, so it's not going to be a problem for me. Well, so we're going to start with the big stuff. We're going to put our voltage regulator over there. I'll put the capacitors later on because I need to do them by hand. I don't want to put the capacitors and then run a hot air around here and damage the capacitors. So electrolytic capacitors. So we're just gonna put things over here like so, and then we're gonna have our 0R there. Then we're going to have our 4.7K over there. We're gonna have our 100 R's. We're gonna have our 100 R here. We're gonna have our 10Ks here, which sets the gain, so we get good voltage out on the offset voltage over there. And then what we got here, sorry, I'm just doing from all whatever I remember, so it's not gonna be in order, it's just gonna be random. Whatever's close to me, I tend to go for them first and then work my way through. There we go. Maybe I'll zoom in a bit so you guys can see what exactly I'm doing to each section. So if I move this around, yeah, that's better, I think. So what we're going over here, we got sort of resistors over there, and I believe these are these resistors over here. If I've set them up, I need to actually get my magnifying glass. I can find it. It was somewhere here. It didn't disappear like to me. So what are we looking for? I'm looking for 15R resistors. I don't think I've put any around here. It's not a problem. We get our 15Rs, like 15K, not 15R. We're talking about. Okay, so this is what I use for to store my resistors in. You can see I got a load of these. When I do projects, I just store them in there, and then I just grab some and put some in the corner there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tilt this, makes life easier because I can just put them like so, like that. Some of these might look different because I've got a mixture of different brands, but they're all 1% or 2%, whatever it is. I don't mix the percentage, but I just mix the brand. So if I get, like, say for instance Wishes, Yege or whatever, Panasonic or whatever, as long as they're all 1% or 5%, I can mix them together. 5%, as long as they're all like 5%, I'll mix them together, but I don't mix 1% and 5% or 5% and 10%, because that's where you start getting different results, and I don't want that. So some of these might be Panasonic and some might be Jaegers. You can tell they're different different writings, different text. One of them is whiter, one of them is darker, so it doesn't really matter because they're all the same kind of thing. So whoop, I jumped around. So we go over here. Now I'm starting to forget what was going on. Okay, so we got We got a 4.7K here. We got 1 microfarad. We got our 50R. We got our 50Rs. We got another 50R. We got our 1 microfarad cap again. Okay, so we're gonna have a blue LED for a negative rail. I'm gonna have a green LED for a positive rail. Because I know that the middle bed is ground for the positive. The little notch needs to be this way, and because this is a negative ground, our positive will become the ground, and our ground, the ground bed for the LED will come to the negative. So I know the orientation of these. As I said, I've done them so many times that I just remember what's what. Go there, and then we're gonna put 15K for our resistors, like so. Got there. This bed is optional, so we're not gonna put anything over here. I'm just gonna have this bed, and then what we got our 11 R's. That's visible. Let's go to over here with the camera so you can see. Oh, there we go. There we are. And we got another 11R. These are for current sensing. Then we have 27, which goes to over here. Then we have another 11R, which goes to over here. Oh. Then we got our IC, which meant to be oriented this way because the notch for the IC is that way. Then we're gonna have a bypass capacitor there. We're gonna have another capacitor here. We're gonna have two 1Ks. Another 1K. We're gonna have another 1K here. Oop. We're gonna have another 1K here. We're gonna have our capacitor here. We're gonna have another capacitor here. And then what do we have over there? We're gonna have our 220 resistor or 240 to set the current, minimum current load for the LM317. Then we're gonna grab our LM317, as I mentioned on the previous soldering tutorial. I tend to use the TO20 packages. I tend to just put them down on the board. I don't like them flapping around. So I do this basically with the pins, and then I get my snippers cutters and cut them flush like so to the board, and then I just place it like so. There we go, and that's the voltage regulator, so it's just slapped down. And you're gonna have a capacitor there. You're gonna have two precision 10K resistors, like so. You're gonna have 4.7K over here. Don't need to worry too much about them not, the capacitors and the component not being straight, because the surface tension, once you start heating this up, the surface tension will pull them into place. So no need to worry too much. Just do as best as you can. So these are the part of the DC-DC converter. I'm gonna get our switching diode. Like so. And we're gonna get our one of the power resistor. This is for current sensing. I'm gonna get our tiny OT13 transistors in place, like so. Okay, come down. We're gonna again do our precision resistors here, another precision resistors here. Okay, this bit is optional, so we don't need to put anything there. Most of the stuff is done here on this side. Yep, okay, we missed in here, and that's the 22R to put under here for the buffer. We're done here, we're done. Okay, we've done most of the stuff over there, so we're gonna move to this bit, which is the op-amp tester section. We need to put capacitors there, but these were for tantalum capacitors, the larger tantalum capacitors, if I can find them. That's fine, because it doesn't really need that much capacitor. I'm just putting this as a precaution in case some of the op-amps can become unstable. So what I tend to do is I tend to just put capacitor there, just future-proof it basically. I don't want things to go wrong, so that's what I do. Okay, here's the tricky bit here, because there's a lot going on inside here. I need to remember which ones are the capacitors and which ones is the resistors. So I'll do the capacitors first. So that's the capacitor, this is a capacitor, and that's the capacitor. And then we moved over here, we got a capacitor here, we have a capacitor there, we have a capacitor there, and we have a capacitor here. Okay, and now we're going to move into our 640s, and we have down there, I tend to do the ones which are in this orientation first, so then I can just twist the board around and do the different orientation. The reason I haven't put any marking, any values here, is because the GLC PCB is not really great when you put small values for some strange reason. I mean, like you can see here, this text, but over here it's just, it gets really messy. And I had it before, the values there, it was just, you couldn't read them basically. So I was just like, you know, forget it. I just memorized them. Okay, getting there slowly. Only problem with them assembly components is that most of the time they flip to the other way, so wasting half of your time trying to flip them to the right way. Nope. Doesn't like to get picked up. You can see, yeah, we can see. Okay, so we go over there. What else do we have? Here, right there. Okay, so that's the resistor and capacitors for that. Oh, there's missing one. There you go. Okay, now we're gonna go to our LEDs. Okay, I remember which one. As I said, this is a plus side. It says plus there, so I know that I need to orient plus on this side for this way round, like so. And then on the other side, the plus is this side, so the negative will be pointing that way. The ground lead for the LED, or the notch, will be pointing the other way, like so. For a single package, it's telling me the positive is this side, so the ground is the other way. And then for this one over there, as you can see, visible to you, yeah, there we go, it's telling me the positive is here, so the ground will be pointing the other direction, like so. And now we're going to put the resistors for the LEDs. Okay, so pointing that way now. Okay, I think that's done. Oh, no, we're missing one over here. There we go. Okay, I think that's done. So let's just do a quick check. We're missing some of the big components. That's fine. I'll put the, as I said, I'll put this big capacitor later. We're missing the thing over here. So what do we have there? We have a 15K. So we're going to put a 15K. And we're going, this time I'm going to put a red LED. And we've got a tiny little plus sign there. So that means that the plus needs to be oriented this way. Oh, you can see. There we go. You can see. You got a tiny little plus sign there. So that means that's the plus. Like so. Okay, let's do a quick whiz, see what we need to do anymore. These, we don't need to put any of these. That's for this section, the optional, we don't need to put. And we put everything for the gain bandwidth section. We don't need to put anything there. Don't need any bypassing here because we got the bypassing over there. Everything's done over here. Oh, we're missing two on this side, as you can see here. And you see here, there, we're missing two resistors. One and the two. Yep, I think that's done now. Yep, okay, let's grab our hot air. Oop, no, grab our camera, grab our hot air instead, and let's go up. Let's start with 280. Let's grab it, bring it here. And let's start heating things up. We're going to have our tweezers in case things fly off. I know these two capacitors are not going to do much because the footprint is bigger, but that's fine. I will just use a soldering iron to sort them out later. I do have hot plate, but I haven't set it up. My desk is a bit of a mess, so I haven't set up the hot plate at the moment. We can use that on another video. Okay, I don't know if that's visible, you can see the solder is melting and it's pulling the components. There we go. Yep, slowly, slowly. I'm using Aten 858D for hot rod at the moment. I've got a professional one on the way. Once he arrives, I can do a video of all the tools and the parts that I have in my lab. I've got a few parts coming, so I thought I'll just wait till everything arrives and then I can just do a video of the equipments that I have. Let's stay here and like that. In some places we don't have any components just because I've just put them as a precaution extra in case I might need decoupling or things like that for the future. I think you will hold it for too long on that LED. Okay. Almost there. This is going to take a better time because we got a large heatsink mass there. So by the time it warm that up in the pad, okay, you can see it's it, the solder is melted now. And it's gone down, that's it. And move into the next bit. into our IC. Both different hands. I'm not going to show anymore. Let's come down. Okay, it's right here at the moment. Okay, yeah, that's done. There we are. Into the voltage regulator here. 12-volt regulator. Okay, that's done. Okay, that's done, that's done. And we need to do our coil. That's going to take a while. Can tell you, almost look like melted, but it's not, because it's still got, yeah, there we go. It's melting now. There we go, nice and shiny. Okay, very nice, there we go. Let's melt these to one side at least, and the other one to one side, and then I can apply solder with the hot air, with the soldering station, and sort the other side out. Okay, this one is not done. This one needs to be done, and so is this one. Okay. Yeah, that's done. Let's put our hot air back. Okay, there we go. It's all nicely in place. So what's next is we're going to put the sockets, the capacitors, because I didn't want to heat up the capacitors. And we got some resistors to put, and some sockets, and some of the other through-hole stuff. And we will come back to that later on in a next break. I'm going to take a break, so I'm going to sort this out, clean this out, and then I will come back for the second round of this.